Okay, today we're just going to get an AD controller up and running, then we're going to import 300 users so you can use them in the test environment. So we've just got a standard Windows 2008 R2 here, so we'll log on as administrator, if I can remember the password. Okay. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is come across to Server Manager. I'm just going to run through this. We're going to get problems, but that's the whole point of it, so we can show you how to fix any issues we come up across. So load up Server Manager, come into roles, and you can either right click and select add roles here, or you can click on that and you'll see the add roles command here. That was greyed out then because it was still loading up. As you can see, that's here, so we'll just do it from here, add roles. And what we want is Active Directory Domain Services. Okay, so just tick that, and that will say you need to install these prerequisites. Just add features as required, and next. Okay, there's a little introduction to AD. Not really interested today, and simply just press install, and that will install the Active Directory Domain Services and the .NET framework. I've not set up any static IPs or anything. This is on DHCP. We'll go through that in a moment, so let's just let this finish. Okay, so that's finished. We've got Active Directory Domain Services installed. We can close that now. So that's producing errors because we've done no configuration yet. Right, so we've installed the Active Directory Domain Services. What we need to do now is make this a domain controller. You do that by running DC promo. You could go into command prompt and run this, but we can simply click this in 2008 R2, so we click that. I'm going to create a new domain. Call this test101.local. So okay, what domain functionality level do you want? This is going to be just 2008 R2, so I will select that here. You'll need to do some research on what the different functional levels support, depending on your setup. Next up. Okay, this will now set this up as a DNS server as well. So we next that. What's this saying is I'm still on DHCP, so it's asking me to configure a static IP. Here I will just select yes, and I'll come back and change that in a little while. So we say yes just to get through the DNS. Just click yes here. Okay, these are the log files. Generally fine to store in this place. I mean, you could create a second partition, maybe a D drive, and have these saved on there just to increase performance of the AD server. I'm going to leave them as default because this is just a test. Now we select the restore mode admin password. Okay, so as we can see, all the settings are listed here. Test 101, domain functional level, and we simply next, and this will configure the DNS. As you can see, that's just installing the various components for managing Active Directory. I'll just pause that until this finishes. Okay, and as we can see, that's now finished. So we've got our domain controller set up. We need to give that a restart. I'll just pause the video while it's happening. Okay, so the server's back up. We'll log on as local administrator account. It's asking me for a password change there. Because this server's been sat around for 30 days. Okay. So we're logged back in, so now we should be able to see Active Directory installed. So if we just can't click Server Manager. So there's multiple ways into this. If you come to Administration Tools, there you go. So what we want is Active Directory users computers, or you can get to it from here. But I've opened a new console, which is this one. Okay, so now as you can see we've got our Test 101 domain up and running. Okay, first thing we want to do is create a domain admin account. So let's just create a new organisational unit, and we'll call that users 101. Okay, so I've now got that. Let's create a new user. Okay, so we've now got this new user we've created. What we need to do now is add that into the domain admin group. So if we come across to member of, click add and type in there dom. Right, the group you want to put them in is domain admins. And because we're going to be doing an Exchange update after this, we always need to put them in the other admins as well. So you've got enterprise admins and schema admins. Okay, so to install Exchange we're going to need to be members of those groups. So we've now set this account up. It's domain admins, enterprise admins and schema admins. So we've got a domain admin account. So what we can do now, we'll log this off and log that back on as the domain account. Okay, so we're logging on as the account with domain admin credentials now. Okay, so we are back on. Okay, right. Let's go back into Active Directory and we'll have a look at the users. And I'll show you how to create 300 users. Okay, so if we come across to our Active Directory, it decides to open up. There we go. Okay, and we can see the user we created. Okay, so the next step now is we want to import some users into this Active Directory domain we've got here. So let's do that now. Okay, so what you need to do is you get onto Google and you want to look for a program called, a file called create users. If you just Google create 300 users AD, that will send you to this file. Okay, so I've already copied the file on here. It's only a small file. It's just an Excel spreadsheet and it's a script to pull that in. So if I double click that, that'll ask me to extract that to the C drive, which I will do now. Okay, they're successfully. Okay, so we've created that folder on the C drive now. We come across to C, and there's a folder that's been created, create users. So we come into here. As we can see, we've got two Excel or CSV files containing all the data we need, and here we have the script. So all we do here is right click on the script and run with PowerShell. Okay, we had a bit of a problem there, I'm not sure why it didn't run, so I'm just going to right click on PowerShell down here and run as administrator. Yeah. Okay, so we've now got the PowerShell open. Here's the script. Let's just open that with Notepad, and I'll select that and copy it. Okay, I then come back to PowerShell, and this is a PowerShell run under administrator. Right click, and that'll paste the script there. Okay, now what that's asking for is which file do I want to pull. So I'm going back into the create users, and it's labusers.csv. So I select that file, and there we go. That's now creating all those AD accounts. It's certainly a lot easier than doing it by hand. Okay, so we can close PowerShell now. We come down to Active Directory. You just do a refresh on there. We'll now see the Exchange users have been created, and there we go. We've got 300 users imported into Active Directory, and we're ready to move on. So we'll leave that video there, and we'll move on to Exchange shortly. Thank you.